Okay guys, today I know we haven't made much videos because the guy that does riding with Ole doesn't do enough riding with Ole. He's just a sap. And he's behind the camera now, so I can say that. We'll fight after. This is a horse we bred on my place. Turn him sideways so they can see his credentials. He needs his bridle path cut. But this is a cross between one of my champion endurance mares. Well, both of her parents were champions. I wouldn't say that about her, but she's been a tremendous producer. She's mostly Arabian with just a shot of Appaloosa in her, which obviously came right to the front in this one. And we crossed her on a gaited Morgan and ended up with this guy, but my nephew couldn't live without it when it was just a baby, so my brother started to put the pressure on me and I gave him that horse, and I couldn't be happier because he's doing a great job with him and he looks good. And when that horse is about 6-7 years old, I just pity the fool that wants to take him at 100 miles. That horse is built entirely and bred entirely for distance, and that's a good one. This one here is one of our gaited Morgans. We call him Clancy. He belongs to a woman in near Jackson Hole, Wyoming, I believe. And he had a little bit of anxiety with the bit because the fellow that was handling him for the lady insisted on having him put in a pressure bit early. And I think I've talked about that before on these. It's just too much and it shouldn't be done. Horses need to find their feet and find their soul in as less constricted, and I would say at least a severe environment as they can. The more you can preserve their mouth and their mind and things, the better. But I think this horse was traumatized by it, frankly. I know we get on and we go wah-ha tildy, and I know there's people out there who just hate that method. And one of these days I'm going to do a whole video on my clinics I used to give with the round pen, and you'll think I'm Clinton freaking Anderson without all of Clinton Anderson's words. I didn't know he was such a potty mouth, so I just saw him on TV the other day and he's like F and F. I couldn't believe that many out of one man. But anyway, there are people, we had a comment, somebody says, why don't you get with the times and start doing it the way the professional horse trainers do today? And I'm thinking, if 40 years as a professional doesn't make you a professional, maybe it just sets you up for criticism. But anyway, we can do all that stuff that those guys do, have done it for years and years. It's just not the best way if you want to preserve a horse's mind and turn them into real mountain horses. You want to go there first, and then you can always come back to the arena. But I have a philosophy, I'm pretty sure I've voiced it plenty to everyone who knows me. A horse has got to be a horse first, a horse first. Then he can be a barrel horse, a race horse, cutting horse, anything you want to do with them. But I mean, even with human beings, you wouldn't take them to a specialty before you had certified and given them credential as just functional and effective. So we break horses, we make horses, and then we turn them into whatever specialty you want. Anyway, that's a good horse. He comes out of Shadow Flax, like many of them, and a good mare. I like this horse so much I bought his mom, and I'm breeding her to a brother of his now, so it's not related. Yeah, it is. It'll be a, let's see, I can't work it out, but it'll be like her nephew, I think. Anyway, so I really like this line of horses. They're just good movers. What do you think of the way he moves, Trail?
Show you.
He doesn't get eaten by a dog. It's hard to see when they're going straight away, but on the side. Take him out that way so we can see his movement. Get him flattened out. We put him in a bozal, so there's no bit in his mouth, and he's gonna find there's a little more freedom than maybe he's ready for. All right, I'm gonna put this on since I'm done doing the talking. There he goes. Might be a little hard to see, but that's a ground covering horse. And he's not really in hand. I wouldn't say he's at all finished, but you can see all the natural movement in him. We actually have him because they don't believe, the people that own him don't believe he can be trained. We haven't showed him any progress at all because he was such a beast when they when they left there, everybody was terrified and hiding under trucks and trailers when he came by. But we'll have this horse very broke very soon, and he will be a pleasure to ride. And hopefully we can get him past some of what I would actually consider abuse. I hate to use that word loosely, but some of the early time with him was just too severe, in my opinion, for a horse with that kind of talent. They need to let him go, let him fly a little, and then just start to hone him into the sort of control that makes him safe, because they just come a lot better if it's a softer approach. All right, and then this one is a little buttermilk buckskin that my brother has. He kind of stole this one from me. He wanted a mare I had, which was the mother to this horse. And then when this beautiful little buckskin colt was born, he never said anything about and the baby too, so I guess I'll have to steal him back. I don't know. We're kind of like Indians that way. This is oh, that's not very politically correct. Indians don't steal. Sorry guys, Indian giving was a term used when I was a kid. If you're an Indian giver, that means you came and stole it back. I realize the world has moved on. We're far more politically correct. Tukey, why do you say stuff like that? You're gonna upset somebody.
Hey, they're not called Indians. Native
Native?
American.
Okay.
All right, let's get
I don't
this
know
straight.
how we got the Native Americans in there. I must have brought it up. Anyway, I'm taking that back from my brother. This is Montana Traveler. And you may have seen him before. He's just a youngster, just a 2-year-old. Fantastic talent. And we may actually use him in our breeding program if he shows up a little better as a 4-year-old. But as a 2-year-old, he's done nothing but good. We love every bit about him, but just much to be seen before we involve him in our breeding program. And then on the other side, oh my gosh, somebody caught me training quarter horses. Though it's against my better judgment, here's one of the hundreds of quarter horses we train in a year. And they're sure pretty. This is a pretty one, it's bred well, but I don't expect it's gonna make the first ridge. They just got too much motor to do much in altitude and with inclines. And then here is a fantastic filly. I just think the world of her. It's hard to see how fine this filly is, especially the way she's standing and swishing her tail. But this one goes back to Big Mac V. And I don't love all foxtrotters any more than I love all other breeds, but this particular line of foxtrotters, I've never seen a dud come out of them. They all have big movement, good feet, great minds, size. I mean, there is nothing not to love about this mare. And if someone doesn't stop me, I may breed her to a jack and get me another great foxtrotter mule out of her. But you can see the difference in the big pocket. See that double muscling? That's a barrel racing, can chasing quarter horse. And people just love to see those big hips. But they are not sustainable at distance, you know. And for those of us who like to ride high ridges and long distances in a day, you're never going to see one of these in 100 miles. Never. In 50, probably never. In 20, it'd be a stretch. Today we're hoping for 3. So anyway, I won't go on about quarter horses, but we have a friend that really wants this in Brokewell, so we're going to get him broke good, and then we'll wash our hands of this experience.
I found me a thermos that has a picture of Jesus on it.
And there is Jesus on a thermos.
Kind of cool. Actually has quite a few stickers on it.
Well, I'm glad you found something of value. Yeah, this is the sort of hip you want. A lean, mean cruising machine. And that is that. Josh went to the rodeo last night at Bryce Canyon. Is convinced he wants to be a buckaroo now. The lights and the crowds got the best of him. And he'll follow that train until he gets tired of it. Comes back to the land of the living.
I'm getting on this.
But he's been bitten. I watched it in his eyes. He was just giddy and chasing all the buckle bunnies around. He offered to help the barrel racers take their saddles off their horses and show them his new cowboy hat. And he's quite the gentleman when he's looking for a date.
Jeez, where are you going? Whoa.
Hey Tukey, you think you can get settled?
Yes.
We're the ones supposed to be busting broncs, not you.
Oh,
away from you. I got a rope.
Dun 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 dun.
I hope that horse throws you 6 feet in the air.
I
Now
don't
listen,
think he will.
he's got an evil eye and he's looking. See both those ears?
I see him.
I know you think you're just fine. I'm just telling you, pay attention, because I'm on a 2-year-old snubbing you on a 4-year-old.
That 2-year-old's a lot better than this 4-year-old.
Now let's not be mean to the quarterback.
Breaking that horse
All right.
a little bit. Won't bother me.
I know, I'm just making sure there's no fart and blow on you. Jeez, doing you a favor. You're so determined to be a bronc rider that you want every one of your rides to be.
Ooh. It is. This could be a back. Time to do that.
Step on my horse. Let him drink. Is your hand done? Let him drink if they will. Oh, buddy. Mostly I want him to stand his feet in that wet mud.
What happened to the trail?
He was with us. Did he go down below?
Alright, me and this horse. We start to try to run through this bows out. So me and him had to have a little talk. See if he'll drink.
Oh,
No, don't you dare, pony. Not that. Into you again. Oh, he thought. Ooh.
So if we'd have taken that other one, we'd have gone to high top.
You know what I mean? Just need some shoes on. Stay right here. Yeah, got some on both feet. In the same spot, too.
Yeah, I want to get shoes on him right away. In fact, if I had my way, we'd go right now instead of switching horses and riding back up here. We'll load the horses up and we'll go find good trail. Oh, Tukey, looks like you're going to be the guy to get the gate. That ought to be interesting.
Oh boy.
Turn off the camera and save yourself the embarrassment.
I'm not gonna
Ooh.
pass on. does move like a car.
Well, the thing I like about him is the standard thread that's in him. We're not talking saddle, we're talking standard. Bug line. And those are the ones that make all the single pulls like that.
Woo.
They have a lot of staying power, a lot of growth. He has one of those in coffee this morning. Which I've never seen him do it. Hold the field. Generally, he is boiling up, ready to go.
Oh, he moves good. He just moves loose. Like, he's
Gotta kick forward his back, move his back end over.
We're going to dump that one in this field, we're going to dump this one in this field, maybe we'll even dump that little punch skin in this field.
Ooh. Stand. Yeah.
good work.
His cousin was adopted by the,
Woo.
had the glebe with the arm cut
Oh,
off.
Mace.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I got to look at his horses yesterday. He's got a little POA. Yeah, little drowned out snarl. He's 8 years old. Well, it's not 8 or 10, I think.
I was still ready to go. He just died. After 30
Ooh.
What I was